My colleague isn't in the office today. Why? He must be sick. He could have had a meeting out of the office today. I wonder what the reason is. Today, we're going to talk about how to guess or speculate about why something happened with using past modals. Hi, I'm Phil from Mayak in the Czech Republic. So today we're going to speculate about why things happen using modal verbs. And these are words like might, must, could, should, words like this. So let's get into it. First, we need a structure for this. So the structure for this type of sentence will be a modal verb plus have plus the past participle. Now let's start with the example about my colleague being gone. So if I'm really sure about it, like I'm pretty confident in my understanding of why he's not there, I can say he must have been sick. In this sentence, we can see the pattern: must, have, and then been. Must have been sick today. And this tells the reader, the listener, that I'm pretty confident in my guess. It's just a guess, but I'm pretty confident. He must have been sick. Now let's guess further into this situation. I can also be confident, pretty certain in my answer, and use couldn't have been. So for this example with my colleague, I could say, he couldn't have been at the dentist today. He was just there yesterday. He couldn't have been at the dentist today. That also shows that I'm pretty confident that he was not at the dentist today. He couldn't have been at the dentist today. And with this, we can see the same pattern, but different words. Couldn't have been. We have couldn't. We have the negative. Couldn't have been. He couldn't have been at the dentist. And if I'm less sure, I can use a couple different modals to show this. So I could say, he might have stayed home with a sick child. He might have stayed home with a sick child. It's less certain, but it's possible. I can also use, he could have been stopped by the police for speeding on the road. He could have been stopped by police for speeding. Both of these last two examples are possible, but maybe like less certain. So these are examples with a colleague. That's fine. Let's use an example that's a little funny and maybe a little more practical for you. So let's say you go into some group English lesson and your English teacher comes into class with a gigantic stack of papers and a big smile on her face. This is maybe a strange situation. Why did all this happen? Let's see. Well, one reason I can be very confident in, she must have prepared a huge test for you, and she's very happy to see you try it. So she must have prepared a giant test for you, and she's happy to see you try it. So she must have prepared a test. She might have just finished writing a book, and she's very proud of her work. So this is less certain, but possible. She might have just finished writing a book, and she's very proud of her work. Less certain, but possible. Okay, let's take a time out for a deeper thoughts moment with grammar. Isn't it really easy to judge people and their motivation? I look at these answers. Some of them are ridiculous. They're crazy, but some of them aren't so crazy. And isn't it interesting that we always seem to be judging people or wondering about their motivation or their intentions? This grammar reminds me of that. It reminds me that I judge pretty quickly sometimes about what somebody else is thinking or why they're doing a certain thing. And so often, I am incorrect. And it reminds me, in fact, this English grammar reminds me that I need to be careful of the judging of people. Okay, thank you for letting me take a moment for some deeper thoughts with grammar. Let's get back to it. I think we have one more example here. Yesterday, you saw a man running very quickly down the sidewalk. Why? Well, he could have been running from the police after he robbed a jewelry store. He could have. It's not very likely. He didn't have running clothes on, so it's possible, but I don't know. In my neighborhood, it doesn't seem like that would be a likely possibility. So, no, you say to yourself, no, he couldn't have been running from the police. He couldn't have been running from the police. He must have gone for a run in the city. That makes more sense, doesn't it? He must have gone for a run in the city. Thanks for joining me. I hope this was helpful. I am also curious if you have other answers about why in the world an English teacher would come into class with a huge stack of papers and a big smile on her face. If you have an idea for this, please write it in the comments below and we can be curious together and maybe laugh together as well. Have a good day.